All right, welcome to our live edition of our Mothering Ourselves first reset. And today I want to guide you in a meditation, a practice to awaken the flourished mother in you. This is the part of you that is just here for your thriving. She is the one that is a full spectrum nurturer of you, right? And when we awaken the flourished mother, when we learn about the flourished mother, when we play with, this archetype in the school mom called the flourished mother, there's actually a number of archetypes that live underneath the bigger archetype that is the flourished mother. So those are the kind of foundational ones that we play with are the mindful gardeness. So that is the version of you that when the self is online, that you're able to be present. This is the mindful gardeness. I think is when we do the mom pause, right? When we come in and we meet ourselves in the moment, we observe with curiosity. That is really bringing mindfulness, our most aware self online. Then we have self-compassion. There's tender and fierce. And in the self-compassion practice that I talk a little bit about that. And this is really this part of us that is meeting our suffering and our struggle with kindness and with just reminding us that we're not alone. So we have tender and fierce self-compassion. Then the other archetypes that live under the flourished mother are the boundary boss. So this is the part of you that comes online who just is unapologetic about owning her boundaries and maintaining them and setting them. We have the cyclical celebrator who is very much into cyclical living. Christy's here online. We have a mutual friend who actually is very into cyclical living. She and I met through a cyclical living coach that we were working with, which is really, so I've been dabbling in the cyclical living for women, for mothers world for many years now. And this is about trusting the process and really owning our cyclical body as a female that syncs up with nature and the moon. And then we have, what else? We have the pleasure goddess and the rest queen. And so the pleasure goddess and rest queen are really as kind of as they suggest, they just are embodying pleasure and rest. And that's what they do. They put their feet up on and they own it. They choose pleasure all the time, right? So the flourished mother is kind of this overarching woman who is just like, yeah, she's just owning her humanness. She's boundaried, she's not thriving all the time, but she's like learning about it. She's kind to herself. And so that's what we're going to play with today. All right. So now that we've done the intro, you can close your eyes. And actually, before you close your eyes, if you're feeling a little buzzy, I always recommend taking a moment to move. So it might look, in our Move Not exercise video, it talked about really releasing the need for anything to look coordinated. So you can do a little shaking, try to work the joints, the hips, the knees, the ankles, just move everything a little bit. Imagine you're like a piece of seaweed on the ocean floor. And also a little bit of making contact with your body. So just taking the hand and sliding it down your opposite arm. So as we talked about in the making contact with your body, sometimes the hand can feel a little awkward. So we could use a tool like a ball, but just taking an opportunity to gently make contact with yourself. Maybe the thighs, the glutes, the hips, belly. And then when you're ready, sit down and close your eyes. You can lie down as well. That's more comfortable. Taking a deep breath in and out. Allowing your body to settle in this moment in time. And so we're just taking this opportunity to transition our attention to our body. Letting your shoulders drop, letting your jaw soften. Feeling your body where it's making contact with the floor or the chair. And as we do this, we really are awakening the mindful part of us. Right? We're bringing our prefrontal cortexes online. We are activating consciousness and curiosity. This is that mindful gardeness. Just to meet ourselves where we are at with our attention. And noticing if there's any areas of your body that feel contracted, you can invite them to soften with each breath. Maybe placing some loving attention on those areas, maybe even a palm on any contracted areas, and tuning in to see if there's anything your body wants you to know. What does that contraction want you to know? Is there a need that your body has in this moment? Practicing the communication with your body, the listening, the tuning in. And then noticing any area of your body that feels more open, more relaxed. Noticing where those areas are. Can you savor any feelings of expansiveness or softening? Let those areas of softening ripple out into the rest of the body, like an ice cube melting. Well, now we're going to play with our imagination, which lives in our body. It's part of our subconscious. And I'm going to invite you to imagine the most flourished and flourishing version of yourself. You moving through the world, through your day, through your life as this flourished woman, the flourished mother. This is the version of you that comes into the present moment and notices her feet on the floor. She notices when she's being really harsh on herself and she chooses to be kind. See this version of you waking up in your bed or somewhere else. What is the first thing that she says to herself? What are the first few thoughts that pop into her head? What is she feeling as she thinks about her day and how she's going to spend it and who she's going to see and the interactions that are yet to come? Feeling into this version of you that unapologetically chooses rest and pleasure time and time again. It is just who she is. It is who you are. It is baked in to your priorities, to what you do, to who you are. You embody a well rested woman and a pleasure goddess. And maybe you see yourself walking into a space or again moving through your day, and it could be something very mundane or routine, but you notice yourself, you feel yourself embodying a completely different, conscious and intentional and flourishing way of being. You feel it in your bones and your fascia and your posture that you are flourishing. And that doesn't mean you're not angry and sad. It just means that you're you and you're human. This version of you is well boundaried. She actually sees her anger and her sadness as arrows pointing to where boundaries might be needed, where tenderness or support is needed. All emotions in your body are information. They are welcomed, they are healthy, they are alive, they are communication. This version of you has a steady back and forth between her sensations and her emotions and her discerning actions. What she chooses to not do because she trusts her body's wisdom. So feel in your body this version of you that knows her thriving is a direct correlation of her boundaries and how she fiercely protects what nourishes her body and what she knows she needs to feel her body, to be present in her body. Her body is at the heart of her thriving. And this flourished mother, this version of you, is a radical truster of this whole process. So even if some of this doesn't quite feel online yet, she knows it's coming. She knows that she is in process. She is perfectly imperfect. And this is exactly where she's meant to be right now. She is meant to be in the messiness of her life because that is life. She is meant to practice compassion in the messiness because that is flourishing. She is full spectrum humanness. All selves are welcome. All emotions are welcome. And then, as you've been playing around with being the flourished mother, watching you and her move through your life, I invite you to bring to mind a particular situation where you have or are struggling potentially to bring this version forward. You fall into old programming. You want to maybe do the thing for yourself, but you put it off. You want to advocate for the boundary, but you ignore your body and you just fall into the trap of pleasing someone else, right? Bring to mind some sort of pattern or interaction in your life that you know well. And with this cyclical celebrator at your back, this part of you that knows that you're in process and you're moving forward no matter what, I want you to just imagine yourself in this moment moving through the interaction, the choice differently as you are the flourished mother. What would the flourished mother do in this moment? What would she choose? How would she respond? How would she hold her body? Would she pause? What would she allow herself to feel or do in this particular moment that has been edgy for you, that maybe you felt stuck? Awakening in your body, in your imagination, the version of you that moves through space and time and this particular experience in a new way, even if it's just a little bit differently. And as you imagine that, as you feel into this scenario, notice what's happening in your body. Notice if it does feel a little edgy. And can you really meet that edginess, communicating that it is okay. It's okay to choose differently, to be differently. Welcoming in self-compassion. And if there's any transmission that you'd like to receive from this version of you, anything that you would like to take in when it comes to how she is, how she thinks, what she feels, what she does, the state of her body, the posture that she holds, her embodied expression. Just imagine receiving that into your body now, like an upgrade or an upload, right? It's this transmission. You are awakening in you because it already lives in you. You have this blueprint. You're just tapping into the awakening of it, the strengthening, the rewiring your routine programming to now be this and not the old programming, which was rooted in scarcity and fear and surviving. This is your time to update and upgrade as you step into this next version of your flourished self. So feel that come into your body now. Feel her, feel you as this awakens. And if it feels right to move, in any way to release something. Maybe there's something coming up that needs to be moved, to purged. Feel free to get it out, to make a noise, to let the emotion that is present, if there is one, to just flow like a river that needs to be released through a block. And maybe it's just playing with the embodied version of yourself that is the most flourished version. How do you need to shift? Do you need to stand? Do you need to stretch? Do you need to take up space? Do you need to make a noise? Do you need to say something out loud? I am fucking here. This is me. I fucking love myself. I I own my experience. I am worth everything I desire, right? Speak it out. Speak it into truth. Speak it into your body. Put it on like clothes. And then lastly, I'm going to invite you to just open up your imagination to the flourished mother, the flourished woman that each and every person that does this meditation connects to. Because while you are here in your own process, right, everybody that listens to this is also connecting to a full spectrum human, badass, pleasure and rest owning, self compassion giving, mindful gardeness version of themselves. And can you tap into a little bit of this collective claiming that we are all doing? You are not alone in your experience as a human that's hard, and you are not alone in your experience as a woman and a mother who is wanting to step into her next level of thriving and is doing it. And so just allow yourself, almost like you're kind of going above the earth and you're just feeling this collective energy of the women that are here to wake up from their programming that is no longer serving them, to heal their lineages, to be and do differently for their kids so that their kids have a baseline that is flourishing. Let's just connect to the magnitude for a moment of you doing this meditation. And when we all do this together, the energy ripple that is possible, that is happening, especially right now. Especially right now, when this world needs presence and compassion and consciousness and women that are fully embodied and here to thrive. I'm taking a few final deep breaths in and out. If there's any genuine gratitude or appreciation that comes through in this moment, just allowing yourself to honor that. I always invite you to take a moment to honor your body. You might not be so grateful for it, but can you appreciate it? Honor this journey that you are on in your body, on this earth, in this lifetime. And taking a few final deep breaths in and out as you reconnect to your feet on the floor and the room that you're in, knowing that while you will open your eyes and you will be in the same place physically as to when you close them at the beginning of this meditation, you are a different human. You actually are not opening your eyes as the same person. We just can't. Like biologically, we're changing every second. Things are turning over. And so know that as you open your eyes, you are stepping forward into the rest of your day, embodying the next version of yourself, this flourished mother in you. You're doing it. She is you. So, final deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I want to invite you to play with what came through. You can journal, especially if there was any felt sense, any somatic experience of this flourished mother in you. Can you continue to integrate it? So find the posture that you felt. Practice saying the thing that came through, right? Whatever you noticed in your personal experience, there's an integration invitation here to weave it in, make it part of your practice as you move forward. Okay. Thanks for joining me.